Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be arriving via the ATC assigned star. As for the approach, we can expect the visual. The decision altitude for this approach is 277 feet. For the landing configuration, we'll use flaps 30. The landing runway condition is dry, and on the auto brake, we'll use level 3. After landing, please turn on the APU. The arrival airport uses ASDEX, so leave the transponder on after landing. It looks like we'll be expecting a gate today. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. As for concerns, well, there's no special factors for the arrival. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, that's the approach briefing complete.
Hello there, this is Captain Dogstar. Sorry about that, I've been talking and didn't realise I had my microphone muted all of this time. Way. So you just heard a automated briefing from the first officer and acting captain. And basically, I was showing you some graphs, some charts. Basically, we're going to be doing a Biggin Hill approach, a Biggin Hill 1 Echo approach. We will be testing. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I keep forgetting that when I change sceneries, it changes the audio settings as well, so I have to keep an eye on that. So, sorry, we're doing a Biggin Hill 1 Echo approach. We're going to be starting from the waypoint Logan. We're going to be doing flat 30 arrival, transition altitude 6,000 feet. Initial approach height is going to be 2,500 feet. The decision altitude barometric is 277, that will be 200 feet. We'll do a decision height at 50 feet. And the missed approach says climb straight ahead when passing 1,800 feet or 0 DME on the ILS, whichever is later. Climbing, turn left on track 147 to 2,000 feet. Then when passing 6 DME London, climb without delay to 3,000 feet, then as directed. And looking at it we should be going towards the Epsom waypoint. In fact, I will actually put the Epsom waypoint in there. PM, and that's going to be 147. So that gives us a bit of a way of actually indicating where to actually hit the mark. As I say, we're getting very close to our top of descent. I've already done the approach brief. I won't ding the seatbelt signs yet. Okay, so just check and make sure. There we go. So now we've got to wait for our descent. And the best way I'm going to do that is, first of all, let's get into a position where we're comfortable. Progress, Yeah, estimated time of descent is at 21:19, so I've got 8 minutes to descend. In fact, what we'll do now is notify the cabin to prepare for landing.
Okay.
We'll turn on the seatbelt signs. There we go. So that's a message to the flight crew to say, yeah, we're getting close to top of descent. And what I'll do is I'll also do the descent checklist. Descent checklist. Descent checklist, please.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall checked. Notes.
Checked. Checked.
Auto brake level 3. Landing data.
VREF 137, minimums 277. VREF 137, minimums 277. VREF 137, minimums 277 feet.
VREF 137. Minimums 277 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed. Completed. Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Wow. This, yeah, I have to talk fairly loud. In fact, I'll see if I can set the filters to be less than that. To 8. Right, okay, so now you should be able to hear me, but I shouldn't be shouting too loud. That's good news for everybody. But hopefully this add-on wouldn't be so bad. As I say, we're 5 minutes close to the top of the descent. That 120 ring there is actually representative of, we're about 120 miles from our descent. So as I say, I've been flying for the better part of 2 hours now, 12 hours now. Like a straight 12-hour flight, it's nothing. It's not like one of those flights where you use time warp and everything, that sort of thing. No. This is a proper, long duration flight. So yeah, it's long, and the biggest problem is trying to find something to occupy your time. Sleeping is one good thing to do. I certainly recommend on anybody going on these sort of long haul flights, do as much sleeping as you can on the flight. Makes a whole world of difference. But also equally, watching the in-flight films, reading a book, those sorts of things actually really do help. Also, please bear in mind that when you are flying such a long haul like this one, here's an interesting fact. I departed in the night, I flew through the night, and I'm going to land at night. This aircraft has not seen a single photon of sunlight at any point on this flight. Yeah, that says a lot. So we are, how many more minutes now? We're expecting descent at 19, so we're 3 minutes from descent. We've got one waypoint we're going to, and then we have one more, and that would equal the time when we have to descend. What I'll do is I'll then compute in 2500. So that should be set in. Just having a quick look up to our figures. Yeah. I've also been going slightly faster than normal. Just so that, oh no, 0.39. It's not much of a difference between the two, but ever so slightly faster, so we are shaving off approximately 2 minutes off our arrival time. So it makes a little difference, much. And also during the initial climb out of Hong Kong, I cruised to flight level 320 or 32,000 feet, and continued to climb up to our current altitude through what's called step climbs. Now we're cruising at 38,000 feet on flight level 380. Yeah, we're now getting very close to descending, so I'm just going to pay attention to all my flight systems. Set heading 264.
Heading 264 set.
So now I've asked the first officer to basically just set the heading dials so that should there be any problems, then at least I've got the heading to actually fall back on. I should be getting a message anytime soon to say to me, you know what, you should be descending. I'll wait for that message. In fact, actually, I've already got that. This indicator here means that I'm supposed to be descending. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let the aircraft descend naturally. So my estimated time to the destination will be at 22:43 hours, which is just shy of 30 minutes. There's no traffic today, there's no ATC today, so I'm going to have a positive straight-in approach. Talking about the approach, once we are on the approach, we get the navig off screen. We get the navig off screen. Right, there we go. Basically, let me just get the taxi page. What I've done is I set auto brake 3, so hopefully we can run off November 6th. Once we get to November 6th, we can taxi all the way up to Gulf, and then through Gulf into this parking stand here. Can we? Yeah. So November 6th, all the way up through Echo Golf, and it'll be gate 331, which will be the one here. That one will be the perfect one to actually go for. We've set that up for our flight, so that'll be actually great. I'm going to leave it on 27 left plate so that at least you can get to see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. What I've just been doing is I'm looking at my settings, and I don't know why, but it keeps disabling the microphone every time I change the screen. That's going to be really annoying. Unless I restart this damn thing, but never mind, I'm going to leave it off as it is. I'll sort it out another day. I think the most important thing right now is to keep an eye on the descent, and basically enjoy the fact that we're actually going into Heathrow now. Right, what else to talk about? There isn't really much to talk about, to be honest. All I can say now is that we are now in the North Sea. If you look at the navigation display, we are heading towards Logan, and we've got basically this is the east coast of Britain. This is a little spit. This is Kent, so we're now flying towards Kent, and then we're going to be making a track into Heathrow. Heathrow is round somewhere here, so that won't be too much of a problem. Put that onto there now, so I don't have to worry. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just check and make sure.
Echo, Golf, Lima, airport information, Oscar 2150, Zulu, weather, wind 229 at 10, visibility 10, sky condition, few clouds at 3,300, ceiling 4,200, broken, temperature 8, dew point 7, QNH 1006, advise on initial contact, you have information, Oscar, Echo, Golf,
Okay, so there's not much change except for the barometric pressure to 1006, so that's fine by me. Set the heading to 229. Okay, so now there's not much to say at the moment. All I can say now is that just monitoring the flight as we descend. Just going to turn the dome lights off so that I save my eyesight a bit. We'll have some subdued lighting in here so at least we can see a little bit. Not too much. But we're in England now. 12 hours ago we were in Southeast Asia, in Hong Kong. What a long flight. You know we've been through 12 hours, because if you look at the first officer's clock, he's been running the book time, and you can see it's running at 12 hours and 4 minutes. That's from the time we basically push back from the gate. So if you'll stop the clock and we'll actually get it. My clock says that we are currently some 11 hours 57 minutes. So from 58, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so we managed to depart and actually get to the runway within what, 6 minutes. That's not too bad actually. Actually no, it's a bit longer than 6 minutes. It was actually about 12 minutes, because we also had to do the engine start as well as the actual taxi as well. So yeah, that's quite a distance. 11 hours 58. Yeah, it was about 10 minutes actually taxi time, give or take, because I actually started the clock after I'd actually lifted off rather than from the runway. Anyway, I digress. I'm talking about certain things which are not really that interesting. The amount of fuel that we actually have, we are expecting just shy of 20 tons left when we actually touch down, so that's actually not too bad. Speeds are good. Turn the weather on now. I'm interested to see what kind of weather we are actually getting into. The ATIS didn't report rain, which is actually good, because I'm sitting here in London. I actually sit underneath the flight path of Heathrow, and I haven't heard of any raindrops outside my window. There was some rain earlier today in London, so the rain clouds have actually passed. And looking at the weather radar, yeah, there's not much actually on there. It's a little bit to the south, which is not too bad. Temperature is fairly cold. I was actually expecting it to be even colder than this, but yeah, what do you expect? Let's have a look at the legs page. So we are currently going towards a waypoint called Copal, sorry. Then to Tannet and then to Detling. Detling, expecting 10,000. 7 vertical speed. Yeah, let's do vertical speed, not change. Let's go back to VNAV actually, because I think it was managing quite well. I think the most important point is when we get to Biggin Hill. That's when we start to have this very interesting approach. In fact, I might actually show it to you. Once we get past Biggin Hill, yeah, we'll do an immediate right turn and then onto the actual final approach. It'll be very, very short actually, but we should be okay on that. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have a few minutes before we actually do our final approach. If anybody wants to ask any questions, suggestions, just want to do a bit of a general chat in chat. Feel free. I'm quite happy to actually answer some of your questions, either now or when we actually do land and taxi to the gate. I will certainly more than happy to try and answer whatever questions that you have about the stream, about flying in general. Please note, I am not a pilot. I'm not an official flying pilot. I'm not a professional pilot in any way or sense of form. Technically, in many respects, I am an engineer, so I will try my best to try and answer some sort of engineering question if possible. However, having said that, I don't work for any engineering company at all, which is actually one of the interesting in its own right. However, having said that, if you're more than happy to actually, pop in a question, feel free. I have no problems whatsoever. I will certainly try my best to answer your comments and suggestions in there to the best of my ability. In fact, that's actually the best that anybody can actually do. But having said that, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for me to actually answer it. Now I want to descend a lot more actually. Just trying to think. So I just need to wait for transition altitude and then we can do the approach checklist. Seatbelt signs to on.
Checked.
Seatbelt signs on. Seatbelt signs on, please. Seatbelt signs on.
Seatbelt signs coming on.
Okay, so I'm going to have to talk quite close to my microphone for this thing to actually be effective. Set heading 276.
Checked. Flight level 100. Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Those lights that you see in front is Biggin Hill Airport. We're going to go overflying it and then we're going to do a right turn and that would actually get us into Heathrow.
For your continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll collect any off-service items, newspapers and any other items that you wish to discard or taken off the aircraft. Also, in preparation for landing, please turn off all electronic devices, clothing devices within all other carriers. Please use caution when opening the oyster bin, as items may have slipped into your cargo. Please show your tray tables and associate things to their upright position in security of the system. We'll be landing shortly. Thank you.
Transition level, altimeters reset 1006.
1006 set.
Okay, so we've got localizer capture. Flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Glide scope capture. Localizer capture. Localizer capture.
1000 feet to level off. Check.
$2,500.
It's rather windy up here. We're also overflying London as well. That was rather neat. Flaps 5.
Speed checked. Flaps 5.
Gear down, flap 15.
Check.
Gear down. Gear down.
Check.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 15. Flaps 15.
Speed check flaps 15.
Flaps 25.
Speed checked flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Speed checked flaps 20.
Flaps 30.
$1,000.
Flaps 30. Flaps 30.
Speed checked flaps 30.
$500. $400. $300. Approaching decision height. 200. Minimums.
Continue. Continue.
100.
Sink rate.
20. 10.
That was actually a really poor landing. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
Set. Set. Set and checked.
Set. Approach checklist complete.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist.
Speed brakes not on.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Okay to clean up. Okay to clean up.
Check.
Yeah, I'm gonna officially say that this was one of the worst landings and
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the
I'm gonna have to
captain
practice
turns off
doing
the
this
seatbelt
flight again.
light and the aircraft will pass safely. This will be your indication
So
that
I
it is safe to
apologise
move
for
around
the
cabin,
rubbish
gather
landing.
your belongings and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and we hope to see you once again on a future flight. Thank you.
Lights and doors. Lights and doors.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Cabin crew doors may be opened. 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 Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please connect external power. Please connect external power.
I'm ready for the checklist.
Display doors. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Parking brake.
On. On. Set. On. 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 Set and checked.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Right, so here we are. We've arrived at Heathrow. Block time of 2255. We were something like half an hour late, but that's just because of the headwinds that we're actually experiencing. I have to honestly say the landing today was very, very poor. I'd forgotten to do the checklist on the descent, and I forgot to do the landing checklist itself, which is the reason why it didn't seem right at all. I will have to do this another time. In fact, I will try and do a short stream flight instead. I think I've got myself this Avro RJ-100 aircraft. I've got the London City aircraft scenery, airport scenery, and I've also got an Oslo scenery for in Norway. That's a nice 2-hour flight, and I like the Avro RJ-100. It's a bit of a soft spot for me, but I do need to set up the aircraft, so that will take me some time. However, having said that, we've managed to fly into Heathrow Airport. The computer hasn't crashed, just the crazy thing. Me flying into Hong Kong last time round, my flight, unfortunately the sim crashed because it ran out of memory, and as it turned out it was to do with certain scenery that I already had in the aircraft sim, and that kind of unfortunately crashed the sim after quite a long while. Now that I've fixed the problem by adjusting some of the figures in the flight sim configuration files, it's actually performed very, very well. The graphics card performed perfectly well. The scenery, I actually had to switch off one of the sceneries off, but overall it's worked. It's great. Having said that, you know, I'm gonna have to do a lot more practice flying in this aircraft. I might do a shorter stream next time on this aircraft going to New York, of all places, using the North Atlantic tracks at some point. But for me, I'm going to say thank you very much for everybody. I just want to say thank you very much for everybody for turning up to the stream. I'm going to apologise to everybody if they've actually watched that landing, that dreadful, horrible, disastrous, catastrophic, unprofessional landing. But this is the first time I've actually had to do the stream, so I had a lot to think about. I've also had to remind myself that there are some things I had to do flying, so yeah. Well, having said that, we've landed the aircraft, we've arrived at the gate. After 12 hours, it's been a long flight, and I really want to go to bed now because it's now past 11 o'clock. So, from me, Captain Dogstar, thank you very much, and I hope to see you another time. Bye bye.